Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Threading It Together. I am Holly Richardson, a principal with Thread Strategies. I am joined by Taryn Deaton.
Hello everybody.
One of my other fellow principals at Thread Strategies. There's a few of us. And we are here to wrap up this series that we've been doing about donor stewardship. And at a particularly important time of year, which is after your end of year fundraising campaigns. You have just put in all this amazing work to solicit your donors, get those gifts in the door, and now is not the time to slack off.
That's right.
When it comes to your donor relations. It's not. You can't slack off. I'm sorry, you can't. We don't let you off the hook. We do the work at Thread Strategies. So Taryn and I want to share with you 3 great ideas about how you can approach end of year stewardship and actually extend that into the following year, so you're really creating a cohesive experience for your donors moving through. So Taryn, talk to me a little.
Yeah.
How do you like to think about this?
Well, I love to think about it. I always love to think about stewardship. I think it's like the most fun part of fundraising, I think. And so one really important thing you could do to just kind of keep in touch with those end of year donors and your just donors from the previous year, particularly if there are, recurring donors or have made multiple gifts, is to in January send a tax letter or receipt that records all of their gifts. It just makes it so much easier for the donor to find the information that they'll need when they start filing their taxes. It also gives you a chance. You can always include like a little letter that just sort of, is a nice recap of the year, a nice just couple of, updates, those sorts of things, a way to connect a little bit more personally with donors.
I love that touch because it also conveys to the donor, we know exactly how you've been with us all year long. Right? It's not, we just have you moment by moment and we don't think of you in isolation. It proves we have the systems to know your entire relationship to us. So it's a beautiful way of communicating that.
Yeah, and you're showing how much you care about them and how, that they're very personally invested because they have given multiple gifts, which these are the people that you want to just keep in your warm embrace.
Hug them.
We talk about that a lot.
Yes.
So Holly, what's another thing that our fundraising friends can do to stay in touch with those end of year donors?
Well, one of the beautiful things about your end of year campaign, really any campaign, but especially your year end of campaign, is you've put all this thought and effort into creating a goal, rallying people around a particular case for support. So use that as an opportunity to close the loop on your stewardship. And in February, March, maybe it's a little bit later in Q3, but at some point later in the year, circle back to those folks and give them an update on how that case for support is now going. What is the impact that you promised to make? Where do you stand against that?
Right.
Have you hit your goals for how many students you were going to enroll in your after school literacy program? Have you finally served that 10,000th meal that you were planning to? Have you engaged 25 new organizations in capacity building workshops? Whatever your particular mission area may be, and whatever you rally people to get inspired around for your end of year campaign, circle back to them and let them know the impact is there. It is happening. What you promised, the difference in the work would be with their gift, that's really happening.
Yeah, that loop closing is
so
important.
It's sort of built-in content for you. You already know what you're supposed to talk about. You're supposed to talk about what you promised in your campaign. So it's not a heavy lift from a creative perspective and from a content generation. It really should just be, and that can be an email, that can be a quick little video, that can be a one-pager. There's so many different creative ways, whatever your capacity is, to get after that.
Yeah, it's more important that you do it.
Yes.
Less important that it be like shiny and flashy. Just it could be a simple email that you send, or or a letter or something like that.
Completely agree.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So last thing is
Taryn.
like the old-fashioned way: pick up the phone. And maybe you don't pick up the phone, maybe your board members pick up the phone, but January and February are sort of slow times for fundraising. It's a quiet time, but it's a great time to pick up the phone and to thank donors for for their gifts, to maybe do a little discovery call if you don't know maybe why some of your donors gave to you, maybe first-time donors at year end. It's a good time to maybe engage board members, other volunteers, people who are just willing to pick up a phone and just thank folks, just call and say thank you, and just also ask maybe a simple question of, why did you make this first gift? Why are you interested in this mission? Those sorts of things. And you can learn so much. Obviously, we would say anything you learn from those calls, you should be recording in your CRM in a notes section, really important. And then there might be an opportunity to follow up with some additional materials. But, you know, strategically placed phone calls these days really mean a lot. And even if you can't get somebody on the phone, because that's, you know, that's always a question we get, is like, what if I can't get somebody on the phone? I get voicemail. Leave a message.
Yep.
It honestly, like, it may be more impactful than the phone call itself. It's just a nice voicemail thanking folks and inviting a call back if, you know, if folks are interested in that. So, so I would say that, you know, that's a really high touch, very personal way to thank people, in a way for you to engage. You know, maybe one of your goals has been, I really want to get my board more involved in fundraising in some way. This is a very low lift, easy way to get them engaged.
Love a low maintenance stewardship. Because really all you have to do is create some simple scripts to give to the board members or whatever other volunteers are helping you out, and bada bing, bada boom. I mean, that really is kind of it. I mean, it can be very low maintenance, which is fabulous. And so no matter how large or small your development shop is, that's one that really works. So there you have it. Just to recap, that is, if you've got folks who give multiple times a year, send a summarized tax letter. It's a really efficient way to show that you know your donors. Follow up with stewardship that is directly connected to your campaign goal. Show that that impact is underway. And then finally make some phone calls. I know that we've talked about it before, but we really can't overstate just how special that is these days. It is not an email. We're all done and sick with email, even though we're going to tell you to send lots more email. Well, I hope this has been helpful for you today. It's always a joy to be talking about stewardship, especially with Taryn and all of you. We hope you liked this video. If you did, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button below. There's also tons more information that you can find at www.threadstrategies.com around our services, our blog, tips and tricks. Also, lots more curated video sequences on our YouTube channel. So thanks for joining us again, and happy fundraising.
Bye.